Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium the 8th Chancellor of the University of California, San Diego, Pradeep Khosla.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody, and welcome to UC San Diego and the Rady School of Management. And thank you very much for joining us today as we make a very special announcement, but more importantly, for the celebration of Evelyn and Ernest Rady. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, Ernest. We'll get to why we're... So 10 years ago, 11 years ago, their visionary philanthropy led to the creation of the Rady School of Management. And 11 years later, their yet one more time visionary philanthropy is leading us to announce a $100 million commitment that they're making to the Rady School. And this commitment is being made by Evelyn and Ernest Rady and the Rady Family Foundation. So thank you very much. One more time. Thank you. Your leadership, your generosity, and your vision has really made a big difference on the Rady School of Management, but it has made a big difference on UC San Diego, and if I may say so, on the whole city of San Diego and this community in San Diego. And it has made a difference to me personally, because in the last 3 years that I've been here, your involvement has really enabled me to do things and think about things in ways that I would not have. So, what will this new commitment let us do? Of course, Dean Sullivan will tell you more about it, but let me add to this. This new commitment will help us recruit and retain the very best faculty. We already have the very best faculty. This would allow us to grow our faculty size a little bit more. It will fund critical priorities of the dean for the school, such as creating endowed chairs and graduate fellowships. And you, Evelyn and Ernest, have helped us become a world-class institution in less than 10 years. I would not have. 10 years ago, if somebody had asked me, would this school become one of the top 10 institutions within 10 years, I would have said it's improbable. Just like we were an improbable venture 50 years ago. But I can tell you that thanks to Dean Sullivan's leadership, thanks to your generosity, thanks to your commitment, we are at a point in our life right now where we are destined for greatness. And this gift is going to get us there. So I want to acknowledge the strong and close partnership between Ernest and Evelyn Rady and the founding dean, Bob Sullivan. So let me say a few things. So thanks to the generosity of Ernest and Evelyn, which enabled UC San Diego to build the school's initial facilities, Bob was able to literally build the Rady School from ground up. And this is not a joke. This is serious. When Bob came here, he has told me stories about this. There was hardly anything here. There was a promise from the administration to do something, and at some point that faded away. But thanks to Bob's insistence that this happens, thanks to the broader community out here that supported the creation of a school of management, and thanks to Evelyn and Ernest, we were able to do this. Bob was able to do this. And what we see out here is 10 years of hard work coming to fruition. No, not calling me. So, for people who don't know Bob, I assume everybody knows Bob out here, Bob's been a driving force, recruiting top-tier faculty, stellar students, establishing educational programs, business partnerships, and expanding the school and increasing its brand in San Diego and throughout the world. So, together, with your combined expertise, support, hard work, and leadership, the Rady School has followed in the very successful steps of UC San Diego. Both, as I was mentioning, have experienced meteoric rises and generated tremendous community impact in a very short amount of time. The Rady School is impressively ranked first in the nation in intellectual capital by Bloomberg Businessweek, the only MBA program in San Diego to be ranked. And the Financial Times ranks the MBA, and the Financial Global MBA rankings places the Rady School 14th in the world for faculty research. And this is amongst more than 300 odd schools of business in the country. So we are 14th in the world, thanks to Bob's leadership. And I'm sorry, 700 full-time MBA programs, not 300, 700. These achievements are more than impressive, they are transformational. The Rady School has transformed our campus, giving UC San Diego yet another reason to be placed onto the world stage. And the school has transformed the lives of our students and graduates, contributing to their ingenuity and success. And you saw the names of the companies. I stopped counting, there's like 600 of them. And it has transformed our community, increasing our positive impact on our local and global economies. So the Rady School exemplifies the goals of our strategic plan to be a university that develops students capable of solving global problems, that nurtures and supports research that advances frontiers of knowledge, and promotes a social and cultural enrichment and economic development. So Evelyn and Ernest, I admire your philanthropic spirit. You inspire me, and I'm sure you inspire Bob a lot. So thank you for your support. Thank you for everything you have done for the Rady School of Management. And it is my pleasure now to really bring the person of the hour, without whose hard work, whose vision, whose diligence, this would not have happened. So the way I want to introduce Bob Sullivan, if you have a near impossible task, if you're looking for a risk taker, and if you're looking for somebody with a lot of vision and a lot of energy, you're looking for Bob Sullivan, or Dean of Rady Rady School of Management. Bob Sullivan, please.
Please be seated. By the way, I didn't choose to be a risk taker. I didn't know any better. What an amazing commitment, and what an astonishing milestone day for the Rady School, for UC San Diego, and in fact for all of this community. This is really important for the entire San Diego community. And I'm going to reflect on a few things that Pradeep had mentioned, a little repetition, but not that much. So it was in January of 2004 when our school at the time was a little more than 6 months old. The Rady family also made an extraordinary commitment to name a school that at the time had no faculty, had no students, had no facilities, but they chose to do this. And the one editorial correction I would make is that there was actually one faculty member, and it was my wife, Julie. So she was the jack of all trades, including trying to recruit faculty, but it was the two of us that were here that were to create the school. And we were nothing more than vision and hope. That's all. We were saying what we thought we might be, not what we were. It's an understatement to say at the time that we were a long shot. There were people that didn't believe the school would survive in 2004. That's a fact. The Rady's commitment more than 10 years ago was based upon a belief, the key, a belief that UC San Diego would only create a business school that was committed to excellence and that was committed to being among the world's best. It was that belief in the University of California, San Diego that allowed us to be. The drive and passion for excellence remains the foundation and the bedrock of the Rady School. That drives everything that we do. And I said at the beginning and repeat, there was no need and there is no need for another business school. There is a need for an excellent, extraordinary business school that's willing to do the unusual, willing to take risks. That's what we intended to do. So what will this mean? What will the Rady's commitment mean for the next decades and for the next generations to come? So this is where I'll add a little color to what Pradeep was talking about. First, it will enable our school to recruit and to retain world-class faculty. We compete with the very best business schools in the world. We don't compete locally, we compete globally. The best scholars, the best educators, scholars who care for, mentor, and inspire our students. The quality of faculty defines the capacity of our ability to be excellent. That's the core, and we need to be competitive. Second, the commitment will enable our school to attract, to matriculate, and educate the best and the brightest students from wherever they might be. The best and the brightest students really define the quality of the alumni that we produce, that ultimately create the companies, they create the jobs, they stimulate the economy, they create the wealth that we share. The outstanding, impactful alumni. And then third, the commitment will allow our school to initiate and to take risks with cutting-edge new types of programs that should define management, scholarship, and education for the next decades to come. We should be risk takers. So, for example, areas of interest to us that we can already see deal with social innovation. So addressing some of humanity's most pressing, challenging social needs. We should be able to do that. In data analytics, cloud computing, big data types of things for business decision making, we should be definers, taking the risk to create new programs. Behavioral economics and finance, we have strengths. In fact, our campus has strengths that really separate us in important new areas. And in cross-disciplinary opportunities in healthcare, in the environment, in public policy, the arts, and more. All these are opportunities for us that we will now be able to take some risk with to start new programs. There are areas that we can't even imagine today that will be opportunities over the next decades. We need to be prepared to be the leaders. So Chancellor Counselor mentioned some of the accomplishments of the Rady School during its short 10 years. And he mentioned some examples of alumni who are making a difference, that are becoming leaders, for example, in companies such as Qualcomm, Illumina, Genentech, Amazon, and many, many more. There are also many other alumni who've created their own entrepreneurial initiatives. 83, in fact, said 82 on the screen, 83, in fact, new companies so far that are operating, creating jobs and growing the economy. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce two alumni. I'm going to invite them to come up on the podium. Two alumni and a guest. And because of Rady, their lives have been changed. Their lives have been transformed. So Pierre and Ashley. So let me first introduce Pierre Slayman. He is a Rady School alum from 2013, and he's a co-founder and CEO of Go Green Agriculture. I'll say something at the end, but Pierre, why don't you?
Thank you, Dean. Wow, what a special day. When I was young, I had a dream. When I was younger, I had a dream to combine technology and agriculture. I didn't know why. I just thought it'd be really cool to combine technology and agriculture. Today, I've turned that dream into a vision to put a farm in every city across the United States, where that farm will supply local food, provide local jobs, and with our new technology, do it using 80% less water, 1/20th the amount of land, and do it 365 days a year. I graduated from Rady 2 years ago. When I started at Rady, I had about 3 employees. Today, about 30. I had a handful of mom and pop customers, just the local ones who gave us the chance at starting with a company that had no track record. Today, you can find us in every Vons, in every Whole Foods, and many more stores to come, or in many more stores and more to come. Our P&L had a little red number on the very bottom line. We had 1/2 an acre of greenhouse when I started here at Rady. Today, 5 acres. We were producing about 20,000 heads of lettuce per month, Today, about 250,000. During my time at Rady, I raised the capital to grow my company, which was millions of dollars. I became best friends and partners with my dad during my journey. I found my soulmate and married her as well. So this is one of my products. While I was at Rady, I didn't have a label, I didn't have a package, I didn't have anything for this. I brought a head of lettuce into the classroom, and I asked my classmates and my professors, hey guys, what should I put on the label? What colors should we choose? How do we do this? I'm just showing that there is a profound impact that just goes deep into what we do. The impact of Rady is not just about, doesn't provide just a world-class education to our students. It provides an impact in the local community that has a ripple effect through the local community, the nation, and definitely through the world. I would not be here today if it were not for the generosity of Ernest and Evelyn Rady and the support of Dean Sullivan. I thank everybody here so much for the opportunities and the tools to become a world-class operation, and I sincerely say that it goes beyond just the education, but really the impact has been deep enough to touch my family, my mother, my dad, my sister, everybody who works for us, 30 families who we employ, that really we wouldn't be here today if it was not for my experience and my education here at Rady. Thank you so much.
One of the points that Pierre mentioned, by the way, was that he uses 80 to 85% less water than normal production of leafy greens. 80 to 85%, how relevant today. And then secondly, he said 250,000 head per month. It will be going up to 500,000 per month soon because of their expansion elsewhere. So it's really an amazing story. The second individual I'd like to introduce is an alumna from the class of 2012, Ashley Van Zeelen, and she'll also make an introduction. So Ashley.
Thank you. Thank you all for the opportunity to share my story with you. I came to San Diego as an academic scientist a number of years ago and was impressed not only with the quality and caliber of the science that goes on here, but really taken by the collaborative and entrepreneurial spirit that's really pervasive in the community. I started at the Scripps Translational Science Institute working on a number of different genomic medicine research programs. One of those was a study that used DNA sequencing to identify genetic causes of really rare and difficult to treat diseases. We call them idiopathic diseases. And our very first participant in that study was a bright young girl named Lily. And Lily had been facing a very debilitating neurologic disease for a long time and had very high hopes of the genetic study, as did we. And so with just a small team of researchers and some prototype software to look through her genetic data, we were really searching for, the 1 in a million genetic variant that could cause this condition. And so it's through that experience and others that I was having at Scripps that I got together with my co-founders and really saw a need and an opportunity to deliver these technologies and these discoveries to the broader community and make a much broader impact. And so in searching for how to do that, that search led me to the Rady Business School, and I found a mission that very closely echoed my own. And so my Rady experience has really, truly given me the knowledge and the tools to translate these scientific discoveries and technologies into a meaningful business and really set up some connections that have helped me build a world-class management team, advisory board, and board of directors. And so it's really in great pleasure I get to share with you that Cipher Genomics now employs about a dozen people locally, as well as a number of nearshore and global resources, and we're growing. And we've partnered with some of the leading life science industry partners here in town to continue to develop and deliver these technologies and get them out to the patients that need them most. And so I'd like to offer a very sincere thank you to Ernest and Evelyn for your continued support of the school, and for your belief in the graduates of this program and the impact that we can have on current and future generations. And then for your support of what I see as genomic medicine more broadly. This is a really thrilling time in healthcare, lots of opportunity, and because of my experience, I've gotten to witness firsthand the kind of impact this can really have on patients and their families. And so I'm very honored to be joined here today with Lily's mom, that very first patient in our study, Gay Grossman, and she can tell more about her family's experience with this. So thank you.
Good morning. My name is Gay Grossman, and I'm here to talk about my daughter. And I want to apologize in the beginning because sometimes I get a little emotional about this. Lily is an 18-year-old, typical 18-year-old girl. She attends La Jolla High School. She loves to write. She loves to read. And she has a typical life at school, except let me back up about 10 years. 10 years ago, we lived in Cleveland, Ohio. Lily was 8 years old, and she was not walking. She was having trouble talking. She was using a walker. She was going to school, cognitively doing very well in school, but we knew that we needed to help her. And so by the time Lily was 8 years old, she had seen over 40 specialists all over the country. We took her to every top name that you can think of, and by the time I had my binder that was this big, of all her medical records, and we would go to the next doctor and the next doctor, and we would say, who should we see? We'll take her anywhere. And they would say, you've seen everyone that I can think of. So we were out of ideas, and my husband and I knew that we needed to find a place that had the words that Bob Sullivan is using to describe Rady's School of Management: knowledge, innovation, collaboration. We knew that we needed the best. So we packed up our household and we moved across the country to San Diego. We knew no one, literally, not anyone. But we knew that the city had the people who were interested in medicine, and we knew that we had the ability to take her to people who were different, who were doing things and creating things. We knew that we had the ultimate guinea pig for someone. So 2 years ago, we came across the idiom study, and I put together Lily's medical information in a very bright pink notebook. I put 8 by 10 pictures of her on the front and the back. I put poems that she'd written about. I put her letter from her principal saying that she's always gotten a 3.5 every semester. And I pleaded with them to please accept Lily into their study. And she was accepted. She is known now as the #1 patient in the idiom study. So we waited for the results to come back. The most difficult result that could have come back is nothing. Lily really wanted to, by now she was 15 years old, and she really wanted to find some answers. And I will never forget getting the email from the doctor saying they found something. And they found the ADCY5 mutation that she has, thanks to Ashley and her team. And I'll give you an explanation of a little bit what our lives were like before the mutation was found and treatment was found. Lily did not sleep through the night. She would wake up with horrible, painful tremors, like a seizure. Except a seizure, you're not awake and aware. She was awake and aware. It appeared to be like a grand mal seizure and was painful. She would wake up sometimes 6 to 10 times a night would be average. 20 to 30 times a night would be bad. And when someone would stay in our home, we often couldn't have people stay in our home, as you can imagine, because she was crying and screaming. When someone would stay, they would say, I never realized it was so bad. How do you guys get through the night? And any of you who have had children know that when they get sick and they have the flu, you just kind of deal with it for the 3 days, and you're changing the sheets, and you're helping them get clean, and you're helping them shower, and you're helping them get through that flu or they're getting sick. And Lily wasn't getting sick. I'm just using that analogy to show you, you get so tired during those 3 days. Our 3 days never ended until the mutation was found and a treatment was found. So because of the mutation, we were able to try some different medications. So now that Lily is sleeping, I'll tell you what her life is like. She still goes to school every day, and I don't know how she got up and went to school every day, because I would get her up and I would take her to school, and every day I would offer, you don't have to go to school today, you can stay home and sleep. But she just wanted to be normal, and the way that she could be normal was at school. She could succeed at school and find success at school, so she always wanted to go to school. I was hardly able to get her up and get her to school because I was so tired, but she seemed to be able to endure this. So today, going back to today, she is sleeping. She's at school right now, which is why she's not here. She's applying to college. She's been accepted. She'll be going to college. She'll be able to live in a dorm. We just returned last night from taking her to Paris and London, because you can't take a child who's screaming in pain and keep them in a hotel, right? So now she's able to do things like this. So when you talk about return on life, the return on life that we have had because of this is immense. So I would like to thank Ashley and her team for significantly changing our lives. Lily's life has been changed immensely. She still is in a power chair. She still is not able to walk. But there's no measurement that you can give on the sleep that we are all getting, the three of us. So last night when we got home from our flight, and she didn't sleep the whole way on the plane, I was telling Ashley, she just kept wanting to watch movies, and I said, you have to go to sleep. But anyway, we got home and we poured her into bed, and I was thinking about coming here today, and I just thought how our lives have changed. And people say, well, she's still in a wheelchair, right? Her life's still difficult. It's still really hard. And it is really hard. But the things that the sequencing gave us as a family is it gave us answers. We no longer have to travel and search for that doctor who's going to be able to help her. We have the ability to take her places and share different things around the world, like the Mona Lisa. The other thing is, we were always told that she had mitochondrial disease, which many of you might not know what mitochondrial disease is, but 80% of people do not live until they're 20, which was another reason that we moved to San Diego, because we figured if life is going to be this hard and it's going to be short, then we might as well live in a place with sunshine. So now we know through the sequencing that Lily has a normal life expectancy. And that wasn't something that we talked about a lot in our household. Lily never knew that. But one of her college essays, she wrote about finding out that she wasn't going to have life expectancy, and now that she does. So thank you very much for what you're doing to help us as a family, and for all the people that you're helping.
So, Ashley, thank you so much for your story. I see, Hank Nordhoff, you have some involvement with Ashley's company, isn't that right? And thank you, Pierre, and thank you, Gabe, for your really moving story. Because of Rady, lives and communities are being changed. I think that's a fact. Because of Ernest and Evelyn Rady, the Rady Family Foundation, there is, in fact, a Rady School of Management that will continue to accomplish and to do the extraordinary. This Rady School, in its 11th year, is just getting started. It's just the beginning. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking Ernest and Evelyn Rady for all that they've done for us and for Rady Children's and for our community. and in welcoming Ernest Rady to the podium.
Well, those are very eloquent presentations. How do I participate in such eloquence? I'll do my best, but it's very difficult. As a matter of fact, the last presentation brought tears to my eyes. And usually I get tears to my eyes when I'm losing money, but so this is different. And I may sound a little strange today, and you may think that, well, it's psychosomatic. He's got a cold because he's giving away money, not making it. But that's not the case. I really got a cold. I usually try and tell a joke, but I thought the joke really is not appropriate to today's gathering. What's appropriate for me in today's gathering is to express my gratitude to the school. Now I'm going to choke up. To Dean Sullivan, to all the community, to Pradeep. How do you thank somebody like Dean Sullivan, who gave up a job as the dean of an established school, moves here because he has a vision, works so hard in spite of obstacles to create that vision? The buildings we're in. I remember when there was no funding for the buildings, and I was in Sacramento on other business. And who do I discover in some congressman or whatever it is, state legislator's office? Dean Sullivan, advocating for the allocation of funds to build this building. He's attracted a group of people to run this school who are so exceptional, and I'd like to give them some gratitude as well. David Scotty, are you here? Will you please stand up? Been here since year one. Alan Timmerman. Alan, are you here? Thank you, Alan. Vish Krishnan. Vish, are you here? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Russ Volkanov. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jui Liu. Are you here, Jui? No? Okay, well, in absentia, I thank you. Anna Mir. Are you here on? And Clark Johnson. And of course, last but not, and I've left out so many people who have contributed so much to this school. It would not be what it is today without you folks and without you, Dean Sullivan. I've always say that I got more than I gave. And in this case, today, I'm overwhelmed with gratitude for how you have added to the meaning of our lives. You've done a great deal for us, for our family, for the community. How do you say thank you? I don't know. So, thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there's an editorial in the Union Tribune regarding the Rady's Return on Life Generosity. That's the heading. And it asks, how does a community say thank you to a couple who are so boundlessly civic-minded? And it suggests that each of us give back to the community when we can and to the extent that we can. It's a great message by them. It's a great editorial. For the Rady School at UC San Diego, we will demonstrate our gratitude by continuously exceeding expectations, by continuously positively transforming lives, by growing our economies, and by sharing prosperity. That's our commitment. This is our long-term commitment back to the communities and our obligation back to the Radys for what they've done for us. So thank you all for being with us for this amazing announcement, and please join us outside the auditorium for our champagne reception and celebration. Thank you, Ernest and Evelyn, for all you've done.